Mattress for Boys page kit called Game Night. And first I'm going to tell you what you're going to get in your kit. So you're going to get a sheet of instructions in your kit, and you're also going to get, you chose when you checked out on a drop down if you wanted chipboard stickers or foam stickers. And this is what the chipboard stickers look like. And the foam stickers, I already made my sample layout. So there are stickers missing out of this because I know that's kind of not cool, but yeah, I don't have an unused pack for this video. I feel bad, but there are stickers missing, and there's a lot of stickers missing on the back, but normally this is front and back of foam stickers. If you want to see exactly what stickers are in it, you can see the photographs at the beginning of this layout had the full sticker sheet in them, and our listing online has the full sticker sheet showing. So sorry about that. So you're either going to get one or the other, either chipboard stickers or foam stickers, and you chose that when you checked out. You're also going to get a pack of the Simple Stories Family Fun Bits and Pieces. There's 53 pieces in here. There are so many things in here. There are video game controllers, bowling icons, mini golf icons, board game icons, twister icons, oh my gosh, what is this? Mini golf score sheet, bowling, movie night icons, TV, any kind of game and fun that you can have, there is an icon for it. So no matter what your pictures, even little race cars, so no matter what your pictures, binge watching, all kinds of stuff. So no matter what your pictures are of, roller skating, movie night, whatever, there is something in this pack that's going to match those pictures. Then you're also going to get a lumberjack stencil, and this one is called Camping Sky Stencil, but it looked super like retro and gamey to me, so that's why I included it in this kit, even though it's supposed to be Camping Sky. And then you're going to get the following papers: this Jack and Jill by Echo Park paper, and it's called Plaid. This road trip paper, I love the cameras, and it is called Snapshot. It's from Cartabella Road Trip. This next Echo Park paper is also from Jack and Jill, and it's called Bicycles, because there's bicycles on one side. You're going to get a sheet of gray cardstock. Another Echo Park Jack and Jill paper called Stamps, because it has travel, like passport stamps on the back, but I liked the wood grain on the front. And then 2 sheets of solid white cardstock. So that is what you're going to get in your kit, all these goodies. And on your instruction sheet, there are cut guides, how you're going to cut all these papers. So you're going to follow those cut guides and cut down your papers, and I'm going to go do that, and I will be right back. So I have all my papers cut down, and here I've got all my photos, or what represents my photos. I trimmed all my photos. They started out as 3x4, so you could fit 2 on a 4x6 picture. I trimmed each of my photos 1/4 of an inch on 2 sides. So 1/4 of an inch there and 1/4 of an inch there. So now they are really 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. And the reason that I do that is right here. I'm going to show you, so that you can easily mat 4 photos fit all the way across this one piece of cardstock. Because if they were a full 3 inches wide right here, you would have no mat showing around them. So that's why I trimmed them down. It just makes it so much easier to cut photo mats. So my photo mats are actually 3 inches by 4 inches. So that the photos that are inside of those mats just need to be slightly smaller than 3 inches by 4 inches. So we're going to go ahead and mat all 8 pictures, and I will finish matting the other 4 on the rest of this gray paper, and I will be right back. All right, guys, so I've got my photos matted, and I am going to start with the left side of the layout, which uses 3 3x4 photos that are in portrait orientation. I'm going to put these other ones off to the side. And I'm going to grab my white paper, because that is the back of this layout. And I am going to grab the shorter of these pieces. So there's 2 pieces that are very similar like this, and 2 pieces that are similar like this, and 2 pieces that are similar like this. But these are just a little bit shorter than the ones that we're using on the other side. And I'm actually going to go ahead and adhere them down, because there's not too much wiggle room. I'm gonna leave about 1.5 inches or so at the bottom and just adhere that. And then from the top, I'm going to adhere this teal one about 2 inches from the top. And then this wood grain is going to be the overlapping portion right about there. It overlaps both of them. Okay, and then we've got our 3 photos. So I'm gonna go ahead and adhere the 3 photos down. I'm adhering them just about like that. So about half of the wood grain is sticking up over the photos. And I'm gonna go ahead and adhere those. And this is the general bones to the layout. Everything else is just going to embellish. And the first thing that I'm gonna do from this point is get my stencil. So I'm using this stencil, this Camping Sky stencil, and I'm going to get 4 different colors of ink for it. And I am using Distress Oxide ink, but you can use any ink colors that you have, or watercolors, or even markers. You could color right in on the stencil, chalk. The colors that I'm going to use are, let me find what colors. I've got a lot of colors here. Crushed olive. No. Fossilized amber. Candied apple. Lucky clover. And chipped sapphire. So let me turn these over and show you. Chipped sapphire, candied apple, lucky clover, and fossilized amber. And these colors match really well with the embellishments. That's how I picked these colors. But basically it's, you know, fairly like a red, a true color green, a goldish yellow, and a navy. And let's see, let me get 4 little blending tools. Actually, we're not using blending tools because we're going to color each individual star a different color. So you can use a paintbrush, or even maybe a Q-tip might work for this. I haven't tried it with a Q-tip, but a paintbrush or these little blending brushes will work really well for this. And we're just going to start, and we're not coloring every single star on here. We are just going to pick a few and color them in yellow. So I'm going to start with this top one right here. And I'm just brushing the yellow, and I'm gonna stop when it gets down to where this teal paper meets the wood grain. And I'm just gonna pick about 15 or so little stars, dots in a random pattern. I'll do a couple more and a few dots. Try not to put too many like right next to each other of the same color. I think that makes sense. And then we're going to come in with red. Actually, I am just going to brush this yellow off and use it in red, since I don't think that the yellow is going to show up through the red. Yeah. Normally I would get up and go wash my brush in the sink and dry it really well, but I am making a video, so I'm not doing that right now. But again, I'm just randomly picking, and I'm keeping in mind that I have 4 colors here. So I'm trying to do enough so that I don't run out of one next to each other. What am I saying? I'm trying to do enough so that, oops, like right there I kind of messed up. I did 3 in a row, but that's okay. I'm trying to leave space so that there's not like a whole bunch of spaces for just green to be filled in or blue to be filled in after this. Okay. And now I'm going to dip into my green, which is the Lucky Clover green. And I'm going to start coloring in some of these stars. And again, I'm skipping. And I'm keeping in mind that whatever I skip this time is just going to be blue. So if there's a whole bunch close together, that means there's going to be a bunch of blue close together. Of course, I can come back in with my other colors and fill in some empty spots if I want to put more. Okay, and then again, normally I would wash my brush, but since there is green in the color blue, since there is blue in the color green, I'm not too worried about it blending for a couple stars. And this is all I did. And we're gonna do the same thing to a couple of areas on the other side of the layout, but I am not gonna do those live on video because this is quite, takes quite a long time, and you're watching me do it once. I don't think that you're gonna need to watch me do it again. But let's see. I think we have just about enough colored in. Wow, I left a lot of the dots to the end. Then when we lift off the stencil, it looks like falling stars in all the colors, and it's super cute. So let's close up all these ink pads. And I'm not even gonna rinse this off because it's kind of showing me I can use these same colors on the same places on the next page. So I'm just gonna set this off to the side to use for the next page, and then I don't have to concentrate on trying to be so random. It's really hard to randomly color things when you're really concentrating. Sometimes it doesn't look too random. So we'll just leave that like this. And let's get, I'm gonna first set out the ephemera because everyone has the same ephemera pack. But not everyone has the same chipboard or foam stickers. So let's just pull some out, and my particular photos are of video games. So like, I don't need the bowling, the bowling stickers and whatnot. So what I do want, I want to use all these stars. There's a lot of stars. And I do have family in mind, so I'm gonna pull those out. Basically, I kept all the stars to use because I really like these stars. They're not going right here, but I'm just, popping them out and holding them. Oh, mini mints, like thin mints. I love thin mints. Okay, I am gonna use this piece. I'm gonna use a Coca-Cola bottle. Let's race. An arrow. Oh, that's like a little Tetris piece. Yeah, as you can see, all of these puzzle pieces, game pieces, binge watching, cute, cute. There's bingo, pencil, bowling ball. Here's some more of these little stars. Licorice, okay. And I'm gonna use this one. So I'm gonna start adhering these down. Now, what I did on my other layout is underneath this film strip, I grabbed a little piece of vellum out of my stash and I backed it with vellum. I'm not doing that on this layout because there's not vellum included in your kit. But if you have a little scrap of vellum in your stash, it would look super cute backed on there, I think. Because then it's a little bit duller down there. I just thought it was really cute to put vellum there. So So we'll get all these down. I'm not gonna put the stars down quite yet. Now I'm going to turn to my stickers, and I used foam stickers in my original layout, and I'm going to use these for this layout so that you can see an example of each. So I'm gonna call this one Family Fun. Whew. The other one if you have the foam stickers, I titled it Good Times Together. But this one I'm gonna call Family Fun with an exclamation point at the end. Oops. And I'm gonna set that off to the side. So I'm gonna go ahead and adhere those stickers down. And I kind of like overlapping my pictures ever so slightly. I like when things overlap on the page. It makes me feel like they are working together and not just like standing alone. And you may want to use an additional adhesive on the back of these. I usually do. I'm not doing it for the video because you don't need to see me adhering things, but I would put additional adhesive. I just find that thickers and chipboard, sometimes it just doesn't stay stuck very well. Okay, now we have this sheet of paper and it has lots and lots of cameras, and I cut these first 2 rows. I'm counting that as a row and this next row as another row with these big cameras. And I just trimmed those first 2 rows off the very top, and I fussy cut all of those cameras. I'm not gonna do it all on film because it took a long time, but I'm gonna do a couple right now that I'm gonna show you where I put them. So I fussy cut every single one of these cameras on this top 2 row, and I used just about all of them on my layout. If you don't like fussy cutting, you may not wanna do this part, but I think it looks really sharp. I put one little one up there, and I put 2 little guys by my title. I used a blue one right here and the little black one. The 2 that look more modern, the blue one and the black one that look a little more modern. Okay, let me move this out of the way. And I just adhered them kind of wedged under my title a little. We'll do that. Oop. If I could get it there. I'll adhere those 2 there, and I'll adhere this one at the top. Just because we were taking selfies and photos, obviously, that's how we have the photos, in our day that we went to the arcade, which is what the pictures that I have. So I'll do that. And then I took all the rest of them, and I am not gonna sit here, you guys, and cut all these out right now on camera, but I took all of the rest of them and I lined them up because I felt like this page needed a little grounding right across the bottom. So I lined them up and I just went in a pattern. I just used all 5 cameras and I just repeated it over and over and over again because there's 5 different camera images on this cut apart. And I just overlapped them and I tilted them a little bit one way, a little bit the other way, and I just adhered them all the way across this whole bottom line. So I'm gonna do that off camera. I'm gonna come in and adhere these stars. Now I put these stars up on a little bit of foam tape, but you don't have to. You could put them flat on your layout. And actually, if you have purchased the kit that comes with these, there's already stars on here too that are already a little dimensional. So on the chipboard. I don't believe that the foam has any stars, but the chipboard does. So I'll just use a mix of the die cut stars and the chipboard stars. On here, oh, that one is the same color, so I'm going to put it down there. And then I'll put a tiny little orange one here. I want to put him down here by the teal one because he kind of blends into those little ones if I put it up there because it's tiny like those from the stencil. Okay, and then I'll finish this off for the later photos, but I'm going to move this layout out of the way and I'm going to move on to the other page so we can start working on that. And actually, the first thing that you're going to need to do for this other page is have this page still laying down because you're going to need to line up the papers so that they match from one side of your layout to the other. So let me move those pictures, and I'm going to start with this one with the, if you flip the right way, it will line up with these diagonals, if you flip this paper the right way. Okay, so I'm going to start with this paper and make sure it's lined up with the left side of the page. And then I'm going to line this paper up with the left side of the page. And then I'm going to make sure I line this wood up with the left side of the page, the wood grain. And now I can scoot this side of the page off. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna do is I am going to turn off the camera to complete this, but we are gonna put another little set of these stars right up here. And another little set, I'm gonna flip it upside down and do it right down here, only about 2 inches onto this, because it's gonna have pictures covering it up. So I'm gonna go do that so the stars look like they're going down to a point and going up to a point, like behind the pictures and everything. So I will do that off camera and be right back. Okay, so for this side of the layout, let's put our pictures down first here. I'm just going to put these 3 right down here. Right down the side. And then the 2 portrait orientation ones, I want them to be about the same height down on the wood grain as what was on the other page. So if you want to grab your other page and line up these pictures, you can do that. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it right now. Okay, and then this little strip of tickets I'm using to kind of ground my word family. Because if you have the foam stickers, you've got a foam word family, but all of us have this die cut word family. So I'm gonna use the family there and the let's race. I'm gonna kind of tuck it under the family. And the Coca-Cola bottle. Kind of tuck that under there. Fun times. I don't care for the speech bubble look. I just have never been a very big fan of it. So I cover it up whenever possible, just like this, or cut it off. And then let's see, what could we put on this side? We can put game on because we're playing games. I could put a little camera. Wow, embellishment. I'm gonna pop that one right up here. I'm gonna put it just like this. I like it down here. And like I said, you don't have, this is part of this sticker sheet. So you've got foam stickers, but your family would be on foam. So it's got a little dimension on there. And this game on the foam stickers, there's a word that says go. And that's what I put here. So for this layout, we'll use game on. Maybe. If I can get the paper off the back. Come on. I'm gonna scooch it up a little. Game on. And then I'm going to stick this little arrow. And like I was saying earlier, you probably want to add a little bit of adhesive to these because you know how stickers work. Ticket to Fun. I'm gonna put that on here too. I'm gonna put that one right here so that there's a little bit of dimension on both of these. And again, we've got some stars here that are already dimensional and adhesive on this sticker sheet. So I'm gonna use those to my advantage. And then I'll add one more star that's from the die cuts. There. And I'll add a couple stars from the die cuts down at the bottom. I'm gonna use orange because I've got a lot of that green color going on down there already. I'll overlap that. I'm gonna use this tiny yellow star. Down here. And I'll use this little blue star to overlap onto my photo right there. Okay, and the only other thing, and like I said, there are tons of these. So my pictures happen to be at an arcade, but you could use any kind of pictures, a movie night, bowling, mini golf, a combination. So there's all kinds of things. Game night at home. You know, there's all kinds of pieces that are gonna work for all sorts of layouts. You do not have to use the same embellishments that I'm using. But the last part of this is going to take these cameras again that we fussy cut for the other side. And again, I'm not going to do this all on camera, but they are going to adhere down right across the bottom where the seam is, just to give this a little bit of visual weight down here. And I'm just gonna overlap and underlap and get all these cameras on there. And I think I used pretty much every camera on this top little piece that we trimmed off. I don't want that tall one at the end. I'll put the tall one over here. So I will finish cutting these off camera and get them all placed on. So you're gonna see them in the completed photos of my layout, but you're just not gonna see them right here. And if you wanted to add journaling and a date to these layouts, there's plenty of space. I put my journaling on the other page, but you could also do journaling strips up here, or down here, depending on, you know, what is in your pictures that can be journaled, you know, overlapping a little. Yeah, I'm gonna add still photos and some close-up shots to the embellishment clusters at the end of this layout. There's also a photo of this layout, of course, on your instruction sheet, completed. There are photos on our website underneath the listing for this kit, which is called Game Night. And you can just search up Game Night on our website, notjustforboyskitclub.com, and you will find those photos. Oh, I forgot to tell you, we have a Facebook group called Not Just for Boys Kit Club Community. And on that Facebook group, our design team puts layouts that they created with this kit. They post pictures of those. They are not they do not follow my directions. So they're completely unique to each design team member. They use this kit with their own ideas. So we share those on our Facebook group, and you can share your layouts on our Facebook group, whether you make yours identical to this one or if you do your own thing. We love to see them. I love to see what pictures people choose. So we love when you share there. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and still pictures will follow this. Have a great day. Bye.